What if I told you, and I actually believe, after reading this, I actually believe it. They did a study on breakups, and they found that breakups are actually harder on men than they are on women. Now, you might be thinking of that right away and going like, nah, no way. I'll tell you why. And the study found this why. And we actually, we had a second date update on the 10s earlier this week about this. Said breakups are harder than men on women, basically, because guys tend to rely on their partner for most of the emotional support they get, while women get it from their guy, but they also get it from their friend groups. And earlier this week, we did a second date update where the dude broke up with the girl because his group chat with his friends was just them basically all roasting each other, and the girl doesn't understand that because she's like, yo, me and my friend group, all we do is support each other, and we lift each other up. So I completely agree with that. So with Valentine's Day coming up, guys, if you're thinking about breaking up, maybe you might not want to because it's going to be hard. It's going to be harder on you. All her girls are going to come and support her. They're going to come over her house, bring her stuff. All the gifts that you were supposed to get her, they're going to bring it to her. They're going to give her a better Valentine's Day for her getting dumped than you would have given her being together. If you break up with her, you know what you're doing for Valentine's Day? Yeah, I can't give you the visual, but it sounds like this.
Oh, stop.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, Pebbles.
So why do you think it is that men don't do that same,
Why?
It's easy.
Yeah, why? You have friends.
Yeah.
So why is it so difficult to, be vulnerable?
I can't. No, it's not. I don't think it's a vulnerable. Okay, I'm going to speak for myself personally. I'm not speaking for everybody who has a penis. Leroy might feel different from me. For me, I like to compartmentalize my friend groups. And my guy groups are mostly for uplifting me in a fun, comedic, silly way. Whereas all that other stuff, I do it to my wife, the vulnerability and all that stuff. So for me, the breakup, that's what it would be. I'd have a couple guy friends who would support me, though. I'd have to start that friend group in my chat.
They
I don't have a chat group
you
like
and
that.
tell you to
No. They legit would. They'd be like, they'd be there for me. We just don't have like a get together where we do that with each other. They'd be there for me.
That makes you look weak, right?
No, it's not about looking weak.
I feel like men are afraid to ever express their emotions with their male friends because they would look weak.
That's 100% not it. I was just, maybe some guys, there are problems.
That's what I'm asking in general, not you. I was asking in general.
For me, it's because I like to compartmentalize. I'm like, I like to have fun with these guys. I'm not going to sit there and talk about our problems. Who doesn't have problems? Everyone has problems. If you sit around talking about your problems all day, you're not going to have any time for fun.
I think some guys feel the whole weakness thing. I think there's a larger group, and they'll never say it, so I'll say it for them. They feel like and realize nobody really cares anyways. I'm just being honest. Like, it doesn't matter.
Damn.
So do you?
Because
That's
everybody
awful.
has issues.
Yeah, it's like, but I'm not saying just guys. I'm just the world in general. Men, women.
It's true.
Most guys say if I say something, no one's going to care anyways. Like, it doesn't matter. So I'll just keep my mouth shut and deal with it the best way I can.
But that's not true. There are people who would care. But you have to kind of
pay for those people. They're called therapists.
No.
I know. I have
And
one.
I'll add this. I think most, not all, but I think most guys have tried to be vulnerable at some point, and then they get looked at or treated as nobody cares.
By who, though?
I think by multiple people who you trust and you go to and you want to talk to and express yourself to, and then you realize, like, man, it really doesn't matter. They really don't
I feel
care.
like y'all need to gather yourselves and figure that out, because I think that it's something that's really necessary. Don't you think that that's necessary?
I think it is. I think it is, but I also think, and guys, fellas, tell me if I'm wrong. I think a lot of guys feel like their main purpose on earth, especially after a certain age, is to provide and die. And that's sad, I'm being honest.
It's to carry the burden.
Yes,
it's like like, all right, this is part of life.
Yeah. It shouldn't be that way.
But
shouldn't be that way.
And if you relay that to your male friends, they're gonna be like, yeah, dude, that's part of life. Yeah. That's why, for the most part, it's what you're saying. It's like people. It's not that they don't care. It's that they're like, yeah, welcome to life. It's like if you say, oh my God, I got a flat tire. People are going to say, yeah, that's part of owning a car.
Yeah.
Getting a flat tire, having to change your oil.
I speak to a lot of guys. Obviously, it's not every man out there.
That's a problem.
But if you, I'll give you a scenario. A guy can have a really, really tough day at work, go home and say, man, I had a really, really tough day. Chances are he's probably going to get a blank stare or a quick, I'm sorry. By the way, can you go to the store and pick this up? It's like, and then you just say, man, nobody really cares. So why waste my time?
Well, that's the difference between you and T.
See what I mean? And she said, wham. See?
Yo, and she got a vagina.
No.
Melissa's like, grow up.
No, I'm just, listen, I get it.
Nobody cares. Woe is me. It's like, oh, okay. Nobody cares, so I'll just keep on keeping on.
Leroy, you done crying? We got to move on. Okay.
Yeah,
No. Hey, man.
You guys should still be able to, share your emotions however you're feeling with anybody, not just your partner.
Yeah,
I got stuff to do.
Yeah, exactly. Not anybody. With the people who aren't going to harass you and roast you for it. Who's this, Lamar? What up, Lamar?
Yo, what's going on?
What's
everybody?
happening?
Good morning.
What's going on? You about to be vulnerable with us, Lamar?
You know what? I'm not going to be vulnerable with you because we're not allowed to as men. You didn't know that? It's crazy, bro. It's just like Leroy's 350% correct today. We're not allowed to compartmentalize anything. We're supposed to just get over it and keep pushing. We're supposed to be hunter-gatherers at all times. So when it comes to that feeling stuff, there are some women that are bold enough to literally be like, oh, my God, you're crying like a little girl. It's like, come on, bro, for real? So I can't feel nothing. I can't tell you what I'm going through. Like, men go through stuff, too, and I'm not saying that women don't. But men go through stuff probably 10 times more because we don't have the support that you guys have out there who's really going to come comfort you, cuddle you. We like to be the little spoon sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But,
See?
you know what I mean?
And then you go play.
Right. It's not just, it's not. So let me ask you this. Who do you think that it's coming from that you're not allowed to be vulnerable?
I mean, it's just it's life, right? When we're children, our dads, uncles, brothers stop crying, stop acting like a little girl. And then as you get older, that kind of just sits with you, I feel. You know what I'm saying? So you get to a point where you don't feel like you can say anything to anybody about how you feel without being ridiculed.
Oh.
And when it comes to relationships, it's like I'm not talking to my homies, not just because they might clown me, but also because they might see that as a way to be like, oh, he's weak right now. Let me go try to holler at his girl. So it's like there's a lot of different things that go with it.
Well,
but
let
we
me
should
ask
be able to feel.
No, I was going to ask, let me ask, so are you trying to break that with young people in your life?
Constantly. My sons, I tell my sons all the time, listen, you got every right to cry. You got every right to tell people how you feel, the whole 9 yards, because we got to break the stigma. But that's a lot of stigma breaking. And it's really going to come from our female compatriots. You know what I'm saying? We need y'all to let us know it's okay from time to time. And also not to throw stuff back in our face later on in life like, oh, he was crying yesterday, or go tell your girls about it so your girls is now clowning you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a big aura around all of it that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know who's telling what information. We may feel safe with one person telling that one person how we feel, but there's always the thought in the back of our mind like, yo, if they go tell XYZ, it's going to be on Facebook later, or it's going to be on Instagram later. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot, man. There's a lot.
My brother, it is okay. I'm going to give you permission. It is okay.
Let it out, Lamar.
No, really.
He speaks
and
facts.
I really hope, because I think that it has a huge effect, on you, but on your community, on your society. I think it has, so...
And it is going to take more than just him teaching his kids. It's going to take a lot to break that cycle.
But I'm glad that
he's so right.
He's starting that, and I hope that a lot of people do.
And I'm telling you right now, there's a good portion of people listening, rolling their eyes and saying, oh, please, stop crying, get it together. It's just, and when you experience that, like he said, even as a kid growing, you just say, what's the point?
The world does not need more tough people, let me tell you that.
Pebbles, you should start a group, go out there with a sign, peacefully protest. Maybe like men, it's okay to cry, push it up and down, have a bunch of guys meet you in a park.
Come talk
cry
to me.
like bitches,
There it is. And there it is. There it is.
What? We can agree to disagree on some things. I mean, I agree to a point. I don't want to hear my friends crying to me all the time. I'll be like, oh my God, this
Well,
guy's so
then
not
you're
fun
not
to
the
hang out.
person that people can go to. Then.
Well, because I am the fun guy to hang out with.
God.
All right,
Okay.
Leroy, let's cry together. Come on, let's go in the other room and hug it out.